Realities, man. Roster Realities got a good YouTube page. Shout outs to Roster Realities. I actually stopped by your YouTube page not too long ago, and I was like, this brother doing some good shit. Shout outs to Roster Realities, bro. Keep on producing content. I'll be everywhere. Roster Realities got a really great YouTube page. Go by his YouTube page and like and subscribe. And listen to some of his videos. Got some really great videos there, man. You dig?
The first thing in the itinerary is the acknowledgement of the subscribers who remained locked into the channel with their subscriptions, as I extend a warm welcome to those who are new to Rastos Realities. If you like what you hear, get something from it, agree with the messaging, punch on that subscribe and like button, and also share, as it helps others to get the content to them as well. It also shows appreciation for the time, the energy that it takes to do content for the channel. I salute you all, and you are the stars. Recently, I was on my way to work as usual, but on a different shift. There was a business that I would regularly pass through their parking lot to bypass the light. I do not own a vehicle, nor do I need one, with Ubers, taxis, etc. throughout the state of Chicago. Now I do own a few electric vessels that allow travel everywhere and anywhere throughout the city and suburbs. I can traverse the areas that cars and public transportation cannot access. In my opinion, a win-win type of situation. So this particular day, I was on my electric bicycle, and as I took the same route headed to work, I proceeded into my usual shortcut through the lot. And as I'm passing an empty parking space in said lot, a white car seemed to appear out of nowhere and hit me.
Bruh.
After hitting me, the vehicle proceeded forward as if on purpose while I was under the car. I say on purpose because if someone is in a car and hits another vehicle, item, or person, typically the driver stomps on the brake to mitigate the damage done. That did not happen, meaning that common sense did not seem to be the case. I was convinced that the individual hit me on purpose. As to the reasoning behind it, is anyone's guess. After hitting me, the person that appeared to be a male with dark hair started moving forward with me on the ground. Remember now, I'm on a bicycle that just got hit by a car, and now I'm on the ground, and this car is moving forward while I'm on the ground. The driver finally stopped as I began to process the occurrence in that split second of time that seemed to slow down. That driver then reversed and took off out of the lot. Yes, ladies and gents, I hit and run. Now, this is not the first time I had run-ins of sorts when it came to dumb, evil, or those who lack attention to detail while operating a motor vehicle. More on that in another video. So right before the driver left the parking lot, I managed to look up in enough time to at least get the first two characters of the identifying plate. At this moment, a couple of patrons from the business came running to my aid, screaming,
"Oh my God, are you okay?"
reassuring me that they called the proper authorities. Ironically, the accident was right next to a firehouse. The response time was the fastest that I've ever seen and or experienced here in Chicago. Included were the police response times. Yeah, we know how that goes. At this time, I felt well enough to pop up from the ground. To my amazement, nothing was broken, at least on my body. I attribute this to the adrenaline of the whole occurrence, me being a solid-bodied individual from years of exercise, diet, etc. The first responders went through the questionnaire, and I could see that they were blown away by the fact that I was on my feet, walking around, testing for injuries while submitting answers. So after I refused ER treatment and signed the waiver to that effect, the cops showed up and proceeded to collect details of the incident. At this time, the store manager, who also informed us that the incident was on camera. So the fire crew and the cop went in to view what happened. They all returned with their eyes lit up, which backed up their earlier sentiments of amazement that I was able to arise and walk after such an incident that would have killed or maimed another. I then called the job to inform them that I had been in a hit and run, practically right down the street from the job. The manager arrived to check on me as my position entailed no light duty work. It's called hard work, folks. Hard work. I work hard. I work really, really hard. Their concern was not genuine. I say this because the manager on duty has a distrustful nature. My bike was out of commission because the vehicle broke the front rim. They ended up dropping me off at home and then at the emergency room. Why? Because by the time the manager arrived from the job, the adrenaline was starting to wane off. At this time, my whole right side began to pulse like a heartbeat. I felt pain from surface scrapes, muscle pain. I'm guessing from the time that the vehicle hit me and the arrival of my employer that I came down from my adrenaline high. I don't know how my ankle stopped the car from rolling over me. And as I come full circle to the fact of me being solid and some entity was guarding my body. How else would you explain it? During my emergency room visit, the x-rays confirmed that there was nothing broken, and the absent pain from the whole ordeal stood up and smacked my nerve endings as if it just happened. My body began to shut down because I suddenly became sleepy. So sleepy that I could have laid directly on the ground anywhere and/or stood in place and gone to sleep instantly. I began to play back the entire incident in my mind, thinking if I could have done anything different in the interest of self-accountability. I concluded, no. I did everything right and nothing wrong. The police official confirmed this during his interview, that the incident was on number 2, which essentially means that it's not my fault, and all the fault falls on the driver of the vehicle. Knowing that wasn't any consolation to me, considering that I lost a day's work that metastasized into months. Got behind in various bills, had a front rim destroyed along with pain and suffering. Come to find out, the vehicle owner did not insure the car. And now here comes the accountability, or lack thereof. Is it okay for uninsured drivers to plow into people causing so much damage and not be held accountable? Now, the option of a civil suit is still on the table, but I don't have the funds to send lawyers, to chase after this person and ensure that I'm compensated for pain and suffering and lost wages and property damage. So what am I stating? How is it okay for child support, taxes, to be able to garnish your wages, and then nothing happens to an uninsured driver or a car owner? Lack of accountability seems to be as rampant as racism, prejudice, and bigotry, and even stupidity in this country. I could go on regarding this subject matter, but the horse is dead. Those with a functional brain know what I am saying. Is fixing this a part of the big plan in society to make a safer place for you and me? Grab the dice and roll them, and we shall see. And that's the reality.